a 6'10 senior from Kingston, Jamaica, number 14, Vashil Fernandez.
He's more popular than President Heckler, Bryce Drew, and maybe even the Crusader himself. He's the big man on campus, the Jamaican sensation. He went from running track on the streets of Jamaica to a defensive force on the hardwood on a team that set a school record for wins in a season and got back to the big dance in 2015. Vashil Fernandez, Mr. Valpo. Growing up with a big family in the capital of Jamaica, Vashil spent most of his childhood with his grandmother, who he credits as one of the biggest influences in his life.
Back home, the electricity goes away a lot. And so there would be like nights when the electricity goes away and we'll all gather up in grandma's room and sit on her bed and she'll start telling us stories about ghosts and stuff like that. And I used to love hearing those. It was always fun doing that. I remember when I went home this summer, because I hadn't seen her in about 5 years, so I went down to her house and she was begging me to stay another night. So we stayed up, the first night I was there, we stayed up a whole night and was talking just about back in the days and how life is now and all that stuff. So I missed that a little bit.
His transformation to a dominating shot-blocking center seemed unlikely, as he didn't get involved with the game until he turned 17.
Like 2009, I picked up the game. I had no skills whatsoever. That was the worst part about it for me. I mean, I could run, because I did track for most of my life, but that was pretty much it. I could stand right there and throw the ball in the hoop. That's all I pretty much know. I didn't know how to do anything else. I had no form and all that stuff. So it was a new experience for me, and I was really ready to embrace that.
Though he initially got cut from the national team, he didn't keep his head down, and he was eventually rewarded with a trip to the America's Championship, the first ever appearance for the Jamaican squad.
That was fantastic for me. It was our first time ever making it to such a big tournament, and I was just grateful and humbled to be able to be a part of the team that led us to that tournament and also be able to play in that tournament as well.
A full-time starter his senior year, Vashil morphed into a defensive force for the Crusaders, breaking the school record for blocks in a season with 98. He finished 7th in total blocks and 8th in blocks per game nationally, en route to garnering Horizon League Defensive Player of the Year honors for the league championship Valpo. Though not enamored with stats, he admitted to feeling a thrill every time he swatted away an opponent's shot.
I love to do it. It really pumps me up most of the time, especially sometimes I try to keep it in bounds. Sometimes when I really feel like just blocking it out of bounds to really like pump us up and pump the team up, I do that too.
On the court or off, Vashil's always been able to lean on his most trusted mentor, a Johnny Williams, president of the Jamaican national team.
I actually ended up meeting him at the national team practice. I wasn't on the national team that year, but one of my friends invited me to come watch him work out, and he was there because he was the president of Jamaica basketball, and so that's where we got connected to him. He also went to my high school for a little while as well back home, and so since then the relationship has grown. He calls me and talks to me, I call him and talk to him and stuff like that. We pray for each other as well. So yeah, our relationship has grown a lot.
A magnet for attention at all times, Vashil has been described by many as the most popular man on campus. Though he gets a bit bashful when he hears this, Fernandez believes his popularity is yet another positive side effect of growing up with his grandmother.
I think that has to do with my personality, just a guy that goes out there. Growing up with my grandma, she's always taught me to be respectable to everybody who I met, no matter how old they are or how young they are, but just to be friendly to everybody that I know, and not being able to be with my grandma all the time or to talk to her all the time. I think this is one thing that helps me to remember just going out there and being able to carry out what she has taught me when I was growing up with her.
It's not just the opportunity to play basketball in America that Fernandez has taken advantage of. The first in his family to even attend college, he is currently working on his master's in international commerce and policy, an accomplishment he hopes will serve as an inspiration to his younger siblings.
In my family right now, nobody has ever made it past high school. None of my brothers. or my aunts or uncles, nobody that I've known has made it past high school. So, and growing up and knowing my mom, my uncles, my grandma, none of them finished high school, I took that on me personally to be the first example, to set an example for my younger sisters and younger brothers that getting an education is a good thing.
Going forward, family will continue to be the driving force in Vashil's life after he and fiancée Bridget welcomed their first child last year. The responsibility of fatherhood is a huge undertaking for anyone, especially a person already juggling basketball and a full academic workload. But despite all that's on his plate, Fernandez has never felt overwhelmed, and he says there's a reason he's been able to remain level-headed.
Most of it has to do with God just blessing me with an awesome family, and I mean, I look at it, I'm like, I feel like if I didn't have God in my life, I wouldn't know how I would do it. But it feels like God, like His word said, He never gives you more than you can handle. And I felt like all that I have this year might seem like a lot to a lot of people, but all I've done in the past, growing up with my grandma, having over 15 kids in the house, has prepared me to be able to deal with my child and handle any situation that comes. And school is not a hard thing for me, so it really does. School doesn't bother me. It's the basketball aspect of just getting better each day, and I've been able to control that and been able to just come in with a mindset to get better. So I think all of that just plays into help me being what I am right now.
Vashil's senior season was one to remember. From proposing on senior night to helping Valpo achieve a school record 28 wins en route to the Horizon League regular season and tournament titles, and Valpo's 9th NCAA tournament appearance since 1996. Vashil has left his mark on Valpo, both on and off the court.